Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Surplus Nut here, bringing another part to this series of videos that I've been making on reloading a rifle ammunition. If you want to be able to get into reloading, and end up making really good ammo, well, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned, because there's a whole lot of videos coming your way. Okay, I'm gonna be making a bunch of these. That's why I'm just calling it a series of videos. I don't know how many parts I'll be able to you know, how many parts I'm gonna end up having, but it's gonna include going to the range, especially after this session that we're doing here. I think this is like the 5th part, but it's going to include going to the range, doing actual live video recording with my bench rest precision rifle, and I hope you guys can stay tuned. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. The last time, on the 4th part, we ended up covering the part of annealing the brass, especially around the shoulder part of the case, and like a little bit like 3/16 where the body of the case starts. And the reason you need to do that is because depending on the brass you use, the brand of case you use, these are Normas, okay, depending on what kind of brass or case, you might be able to shoot them, let's say 3 times, 4 times. What I do when I shoot mine 3 times, I run them through this body die, and then I do the whole process of reloading, and then I shoot them again. If I see like on the 6th time or maybe 8th time, it's starting to give me a real hard time closing my bolt, chambering up my rounds on my chamber. That tells me that the brass, it's really hard, especially around the shoulder here. And even though I'm running it through the resizing, the resizer die, it's not really resizing it fully. It might look like it's all the way in, but believe me, it's not. The brass is not being resized properly. So that tells you, once you start doing that you can't close the bolt on your gun, that you need to start annealing it. And we did that on the 4th part of this reloading videos, on the 4th part of the reloading series of videos. You need to check that part out. So right now we're at the point that I have all 100 cases. They have been annealed. The brass should be nice and soft now, and we're gonna go ahead and resize them. Now, like I was explaining before, I don't have, or I don't own a full-length resizing die, because with that die, what it does is it'll resize the whole body of the case. It'll bump the shoulder to its regular specs, but it would also size the whole length of your neck. And that's not good to do. You don't want to, on your cases, you don't want to resize the whole neck. You see that whole, what we call the whole neck, that whole neck there, you don't want to resize that. You just want to do like maybe like a 40,000th of an inch. That's what I do, like just a little bit on the top, just to hold the bullet in place. And we'll cover that once we get into neck resizing. Okay, so for now, I just want to explain to you guys what this body die does. It just resizes the body, bumps the shoulder back to its normal specs, and it doesn't touch the neck of the case. It's all hollow, no internal parts. And on a full-length body die, you're probably gonna have your decapping rod you know, and all that. So this is just different, and this is what I use. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna put it right in here with the quick release bushing that I have on my lead press, and we're gonna use some of this stuff, which is the best lubricant you can use out there. It's made by Reddings. It's Imperial Sizing Dye Wax. Okay, this is not water based, and even if you were to leave a little bit of it inside your dyes and stuff, it will not they won't get rusted. Okay, so what we do is we're gonna get started. All you need to do, you get your fingers. What I do is I get my fingers, my index finger, my thumb on each hand, and I just kind of like, it's like a little shoe polish can. Okay, and just get the case and just put it all over. One application, if you dab your fingers real good, one application of this stuff should be good enough for like 3 cases. Okay, there we go. This one's already done. Let me get this little rag here. So what you want to do, maybe as you take them out, just kind of like wipe them down a little bit. Even though the we're gonna go ahead and tumble all these cases, so that's all you do, guys. Just get a little bit. I keep the can real close by here, and you go like this. You put it on all over the case. Okay, all over the case. You put it on the shell holder, bring it completely up. You might want to do it twice, like ram it in there twice inside the dye. You know what? You can probably forget the thing about the rag. I'm pretty sure that once we get this thing on the tumbler and we tumble this brass to get it clean, the media will probably take care of the little residue that's left on the outside of these cases, just to kind of like go a little faster. Okay, so we already did the third one, and that's how you do it. Just all this thing is doing now, right now, is just like I'm saying, it's resizing the body of the case and bumping the shoulder back to its regular design or specs, and that's what it does. That's what you guys. It doesn't touch the neck at all. You don't have to worry about it. It'll just move the shoulder back to where it's got to be, and it will resize the body. See my fingers, if I put enough on my fingers, it'll work. I mean, this thing is so, this wax, sizing wax from Imperial, is so good that you don't have to worry about getting a case stuck in your dye. And then again, once you rub it like this on the case, after a little while, some of this wax starts, you know, it gets inside the dye itself. So for sure, you know, you're not gonna get a case like stuck in there, like if you were to use some other type of lubricant. And one thing you need to do, like with every dye, when you're done reloading, you want to get a Q-tip and dry all this wax, sizing wax that's going to eventually go inside the die. Dry it up with a Q-tip, and then with like what I use is like Hopi's 9. Same thing I use for sometimes to clean the barrels of my rifles. And after I wipe it down with a Q-tip just to get the actual wax out of from inside the die, I go ahead and I clean them real good with the Hopi's. And you can leave the Hopi's in there. It'll help out as a corrosion protector in your die. So that goes for every die. You know, you don't want to, whatever function you're going to be doing with your dies, you want to make sure that once you're done with them, especially if you have like a Reddings competition die or a RCBS competition die, or if you buy the whole set, those are, I'm sure they're going to be expensive. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're taking care of those. So, you know, always clean them up after you're done, and use some type of lubricant to make sure they stay protected from the surroundings, you know, the ambient or, you know, moisture. So you want to either, you can even, sometimes I just use WD-40. It works pretty good. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all you have to do. I have to do 100 of these, okay? And this will get us to the next step, which is after this we're going to do the other part of cleaning the brass. Then after we clean the brass, we're probably going to check the length of the cases. They all need to be the same length, and we might have to maybe trim them with the Wilson cutter. On one of the first parts of the video of this series, I think when I was talking about the case trimmer or cutter, I mentioned that I said that it was Lee, but it's obviously L.E. Wilson. That's why I probably said Lee, because the L.E. I probably said Lee, but it's not a Lee like the press. It's a Wilson cutter. So that's all you guys need to do for resizing your dies. Alright guys, so I'll check you guys out on the next video.